Now from Washington, D.C. Rob, thank you very much for joining us here on the News Hour. I'm wondering what your take is. What does the ouster of, or the firing of John Bolton say about President Trump?
Well, I think it doesn't really say all that much. If you look at the national security team, you still have Secretary Pompeo, the most widely respected diplomat that we have seen in some time. We still have our Joint Chiefs of Staff. This is merely just a security advisor to the president. It's apparent there was a cognitive dissonance, however. Mr. Bolton is a noted neocon, and I think President Trump is looking for ways to bring people to the table that traditionally have been ignored in previous administrations.
What could describe the president's approach to foreign policy as mercurial, perhaps impatient? Do you think that John Bolton may have played a role in perhaps preventing a decision that would have had sort of poor or adverse long-term effects for the United States?
I mean, I think you've seen Mr. Bolton ascribe to the bombing of Iran. He's ascribed to the bombing of North Korea. I don't think that this is somebody who brings a peace-bearing or, you know, shall we say, wait-and-see approach to foreign policy. Again, he was an advisor to the President of the United States, and, you know, in an advised consent role, President Trump has the right to appoint and dismiss as he wishes.
Rob, you also mentioned other key people in the administration. One of these people is Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. He came out on Tuesday, just a couple of hours after the ouster of John Bolton, to talk about the president's sort of latest executive order on fighting terrorism. And you could see that he could sort of barely contain himself. Many are saying this is a victory for Mike Pompeo. Why do you think he is regarded as the golden child of this administration?
Well, I think as a Secretary of State, you haven't seen a background like Mike Pompeo's in a while. A West Point graduate, a Harvard MBA and JD, a congressman, a former director of the Central Intelligence Agency, and now our nation's greatest diplomat. The vision of Mr. Pompeo, along with that of the Vice President, are some of the most informed that the President could possibly have, and I think more in a traditional global approach than perhaps something that is outdated as a neoconservative view.
Rob, one final question to you. How do you foresee the Trump administration's foreign policy playing out until the elections?
I think much as you do, trying to bring China to the table and contain what is happening in the Persian Gulf. All
right. Robb is joining us live from Washington, Republican strategist. Thank you very much.